Well, this morning I got here super early and I took a video and I was telling a little bit of the history of my youth intertwined with the Palace of Fine Arts. So it was a hangout spot. It was definitely a hangout spot when I was in middle school and high school. More even when I was in like 7th grade and my friends were in 8th grade. And then when I was in 8th grade, my friends were in 9th grade mostly. And we used to come down here and chill. And back then there was hardly anybody here. Now it's like a major tourist destination. I said all that in my other video. The reason I'm making another video right now is because I made a video about some of our shenanigans, and I think I gave a little too many details about how we managed to pull off such shenanigans, and I don't think it's a good idea to give too many specifics because then people might copycat and come down here and get in big trouble, because we were down here like 40 something years ago, and it was a different world. And I think it was even a different jurisdiction. I'm pretty sure right here, I'm not sure if it's GGNRA or San Francisco jurisdiction, but if you're on GGNRA jurisdiction, you don't want to get in trouble for anything because that's a federal jurisdiction. That's a whole different ballgame. But anyway, be that as it may, all I did is I explained how I'm going to zoom in on the little boxes on the top with the mysterious ladies looking inside. Where it's like, what are they looking at? Are there baby kittens in there or something? Like, what is going on in the box, you know? And, well, how come they never turn around? So that little thing right there. So I explained how, in probably too much detail, how me and my friends managed to get inside and up and to the top. And literally about maybe 3 times end up hanging out up at the top up there. And that like is it's probably 6, not even 8 feet wide up there, and it's a pretty decent drop. So if you're drinking and you don't want to die, probably the best thing is you sit down and relax. Nighttime, obviously you're not going to do that during the day. But anyway, nowadays if you did it, probably a police drone would spot you in about 10 minutes, and it wouldn't be fun. And so then, anyway, the whole story is that we figured out a way to get inside. There was a little maintenance room at the bottom of those things, in some of them. And then there was a ladder, like a rebar ladder in the wall, like steps made out of rebar, going all the way up. And then you get to the top, and there's like a little, you could call it a room. And the room is full of disgusting pigeons and pigeons, and lots of pigeons, and they're all in there nesting and doing their thing. They're having their pigeon society meeting, and it's very unsanitary and foul. But then there's a corridor inside there. It's a little corridor, and then in the middle there's another little like 4-step ladder that goes up, and you might be able to see in the very top right there is sort of a square. It's like a skylight right there, and you pop out right there, and you take your 12-pack or whatever and your weed, and you sit up there and chill and think about how you've gone somewhere where no man has gone before or whatever, and feel special. So anyway, the first time we discovered it, we kind of didn't go all the way up. The next time, me and a friend of mine went back, and we went all the way up, and we chilled on the top, and it was all like whatever. And then we went back with 2 more friends. And the time we went back with 2 more friends, one of the friends, who literally grabbed a wrench from the maintenance room, and he put it in his pocket. He put it in his pocket and in his jacket pocket. And so he started climbing up, and then the next guy started climbing behind him. And 감사합니다. And okay, so back to my story. We're going up the ladder. Guy's got a wrench in his jacket pocket. Other guy's below him, probably like 15 feet. And the wrench falls out of jacket pocket and finds purchase on the next guy's head, like right to the dome. Like there's a dome. Imagine a big wrench hitting the dome. And the wrench hits the dome and it causes severe injury. So the guy gets hit in the dome, and then basically he didn't fall, but he was hurt, and then we got him back down. He got back down. I don't think he was very far up when it happened. And then he was messed up. And so we went across the street to this friend of ours' house, and we told her, oh shit, you know, blah blah, got hurt, blah blah blah. We told her the whole story, and then we're like, but we can't tell that we're in there because we don't want to get in trouble. So basically, we're gonna call a taxi and get him to a hospital because we don't want to call an ambulance because the ambulances cost an arm and a leg or whatever, no insurance, blah blah. And so what we did is we called the taxi, and so we called the taxi. Taxi came, took us to Children's Hospital up on California Street, and they admitted him, and then we were all sitting around the waiting room like just, you know, little 14-year-old kids, and with skateboards and whatever. And so once they got in touch with his parents and he was admitted and everything, we were sitting around trying to be all dramatic and like, what's gonna happen and blah blah blah. And the hospital staff had other ideas, which was to get us out of the fucking place. So they came over and they were like, okay, your friend's taken care of, his parents have been notified, he's you know, being taken care of, so you guys can leave. We don't need you loitering in our lobby. So they weren't very hospitable, but we didn't really have any business there anyway. So then we all went home. And dude had like, I think he had like a concussion, and he had some stitches, and you know, it wasn't fun. But that's the story of that. And I don't remember going up there after that. But we always used to go hang out on these spots right here. I'm going to zoom in on. And on the side of those, there's like a little staircase. It's covered by brush now. But it's like a big stairs, like 3 foot high each stair, or whatever. And we climb up there, and there's a plateau right there at the base of those pillars where, you know, there's a bit of space, and we'd hang out there and chill. We would drink and chill. And there really wasn't anybody around here very much at all back in those days. And that was the scene back then. I mean, we were hanging out up on Haight Street, so we used to always take the 43 down here. And this is one of our spots. This, China Beach, this is where we used to hang out. And probably other places too, but those were two main spots for sure. And they were chill spots, you know. We didn't get in much trouble, just a little. So that was the story, but I wanted to retell it from my version I told this morning because I don't want anybody coming down here and trying anything untoward. So that's all I got to say on the matter. And I just got off work. I was at an event that has like an NDA, and you can't say anything about it or take any pictures or anything. So I didn't, and I'm such a good boy. But I really wanted to come down here and get some footage and hang out for a minute. Now I'm going to go drive home. The best way to drive home from here is the Golden Gate. So there it is. It's been great.